Hey class, we're going to go ahead and move on to part 3 of equations. We just wrapped up part 2 when we went over the equation breakdown. We're going to go ahead and move on. I'm going to go ahead and move this out the way. All right. So again, what we're going to talk about today, and this part, in part 3, I should say, is one-step equations. Okay? One-step equations. And the reason they call them one-step equations is because it only takes one step to get your answer, or what we call solution. Okay, so a solution is the answer to the equation. Okay, the answer to the equation. So we're going to go ahead and go through our first example, and it's going to be an addition example. And as we're going through these, we're going to go ahead and talk about additive inverse and just inverse. You know, inverse means opposite for additive inverse. And for these types of problems, for one-step equations, we want to talk about the opposite of operations. So what is the opposite of addition? What do you think the opposite of addition is? Subtraction, right? Now, what's the opposite of subtraction? Should help you. The first part should help you. Addition, right? Opposite of addition is subtraction. The opposite of subtraction is addition. Now, what's the opposite of multiplication? What do you think it is? Division, right? And what's the opposite of division? Multiplication, right? So we want to use those ideas within these examples, okay? Within these examples. So the first example we have is x plus 4 equals positive 5. Okay, x plus 4 equals positive 5. Now, what we want to remember is, of course, the answer is 1. Of course, we know this, but this is not mental math, right? We are working with equations. We are dealing with algebra, right? Which I've told you before, we're dealing with algebra, and we want to be able to know how to do this on paper, okay? Because again, there's going to come a time where you will be asked to, write this on paper, and you need to be ready for that, okay? I'm trying to get you ready for that. So the first thing you want to ask yourself is, what is happening to the variable? What operation is happening to the variable? What is this? What is this operation? Addition, right? And what is the opposite operation of addition? What's the opposite of addition? Subtraction, right? And so what is being added to the variable? What is this? Add of what? Adding what? 4, right? Adding 4. And what's the opposite of adding 4? Subtracting 4. And so that's what we're going to do. We're going to subtract 4 from the left side of this equal sign. So this is the equal sign. And on the left side, we're going to subtract 4. Now, like I told you before, equations in previous part is all about a balance. Okay? It's all about being fair. Okay? Balance and being fair. Now, if I subtract 4 from the left, we have to be fair to the other side of this equal sign, and we also have to subtract 4. So if you subtract 4 from the left, you also have to subtract 4 from the right. Okay? And so right now, our equation was x plus 4 equals 5. And we're solving this equation, right? We're solving this equation. We're solving for this variable x. Okay? That's what we're doing here. I'm going to rewrite this in a minute. We're solving for x. And the way we do that is we got to see what's happening to x right now. Adding 4. The opposite of adding 4 is subtracting 4. Be fair. Whatever's done to the left also has to be done to the right. Now, we got to see what happens here. We have 4 minus 4, which turns into what? What's 4 minus 4? 0, right? And what we do is we're going to cross that out. And what that's called is a 0 pair. Okay, that's called a zero pair. You may see that on STAR. That's why I want to go ahead and go over it with you. 4 minus 4, you get 0, so they call that a zero pair. Okay, and then the x just comes straight down here. Equal sign also comes straight down. 5 minus 4, we get positive 1. So x is equal to 1. All right, now we can't forget to check, please. Right, I always like to yell check, right? Check, please. And so what we got to do here is we believe that this is the solution, but we have to check our answer. And this is how you check your answer. You're going to substitute. Remember that word substitute we've talked about before? Substitute in the value that we believe. We believe x is equal to 1. We believe that. And since we believe that, we're going to substitute this into the original equation, which is x plus 4 equals 5. We believe x is equal to 1. We're going to substitute 1 for the x. Now, if we substitute it in, we get a true statement, this is the solution. If we get a false statement, it's not the solution. So what's 1 plus 4? 5. Does 5 equal 5? Yes, it does. And since 5 equals 5, we know that this is a true statement. So this right here is our what? What does it say? Solution. X equals 1 is our solution because when we substitute in, we got a true statement. X equals 1 is our solution. That's example number 1 for solving one-step equations. Solving one-step equations. So what we're doing here is solving. Solve. We solved x plus 4 equals 5. We got x equals 1. We checked it, verified it, make sure it's right. And that's our solution. Okay, that's example number 1. Make sure you have that written down. We're going to go ahead and move on. Make sure you have that written down. All right, here we go. All right, next example. We have a minus 5 equals 9. All right, so from looking at this, a minus 5 equals 9. We know the answer is 14, like that. We know it. We know the answer. 14 minus 5, we're going to get 9. Duh. Right? But remember, this isn't mental math. We got to know our strategies. We got to know our steps. Now, what's happening to the variable a? Subtracting 5. Subtracting 5. That's happening right now. Now, we got to think of the opposite. What is the opposite of minus 5? What's the opposite? Adding 5, right? So we're going to add 5 to the left, and we have to have balance. We got to be fair to the other side. So what do we have to do to the other side? Also add 5. Negative 5 plus 5. Negative 5 plus 5, what are we going to get? 0, right? And so remember, that's a 0 pair. Got to remember that, 0 pair. And a is going to come straight down. Equal sign is going to come down. 9 plus 5 is what? Positive 14, right? And we can't forget to what? Check, please, right? We can't forget to check. So we got to check. Let's go ahead and check this. Original equation, a minus 5 equals 9. Substitute. This is what we believe our solution is. A equals 14. We're going to substitute or replace a with 14. 14 minus 5 equals 9. If we get a true statement, this is our solution. 14 minus 5, we get 9 equals 9, which we know is true. And so this is our what? Our solution. Okay? All right, we're going to go ahead and wrap this up. This is part 3 of one-step equations. We're going to go ahead and move on to part 4. We're going to have 2 more examples. Thanks for watching.